they played last night. I don't know how much you watched that game, or you compared to last night, or more like a month ago, or about a month ago when you played them last. Like,
I think it's a little bit of both. They've done some things very similar, and then they've changed some things. Obviously, Ball did not start that game last night, but he most likely will start tonight. That's the way the pattern has gone. So we just got to make sure that we're aware of what it looks like him in the starting unit versus him coming off the bench. And tonight we'll see the starting version of him. So we've got to start the game off the right way with that intent and that focus and that energy.
With the defense, how do you guys find that point of attack defense, that perimeter defense, to help them slow down their three-point shot?
That's 1-on-5. They've got to see bodies the entire night, so we've got to make sure we're protecting and packing the paint in early, and then getting out to shooters, knowing who we're closing out to. That's a big KYP. Know your personnel night and who you're closing out, and just make sure you're working on containing the basketball more than anything.
How's Jalen doing?
Jalen's doing well. Came up okay yesterday after yesterday's work. He's going to get some more work in today and see how he goes from there. Not tonight, won't be able to go tonight, but Charlie looking forward to the next couple games maybe.
I just want to. So you said.
Not tonight.
Okay,
not tonight.
Just how much energy, just kind of seeing him back on the court and just being able to do stuff with guys, how much energy does that bring to the group?
He brings so much joy to this group. His focus, his intensity, his energy is just contagious. And I think that's what we're going to continue to need from him, whether he's just working out or we're just going through walkthrough. The energy that he brings is contagious for this group.
With the kind of starts to the game, like how much of that is just tweaking maybe some rotations, maybe when guys going in and out, or how much of it is just like team's got to bring the right energy from the start?
That's it right there. We got to bring the right energy from the start. Doesn't matter who's out there. You got to have an intensity, intent, and a focus level to what you're doing to start that game. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Tristan, for your group coming off a long trip, what are the keys tonight to recentering and playing a home game and coming out with a win?
I think just knowing the game plan, playing our game. I feel like playing with poise, but playing fast, and then just not letting that trip kind of dismantle our energy. It was a long trip, but I feel like we got to be able to come out and still perform at the highest level.
How important is having that energy at the beginning? We saw on the trip, especially kind of slow starts offensively, slow starts defensively. But how important is it to just have that energy from the start and build off of that?
Yeah, I mean it sets the tone for the rest of the game. I feel like that's been a theme in the last couple of games for us. That we got to make sure we close out the first quarter better and start off the right way. So that's definitely an emphasis for us. And we just played against them not too long ago, and it was the same story. So we got to make sure that we come out in the first quarter ready to go.
How do you guys do that? It sounds like Jalen's going to be close. It's close, but not playing tonight. But how do you guys do that without Jalen when he's one of your big energy providers?
Yeah, I mean it's been a theme for us. Just having guys out, still being able to find our rhythm and still playing our game. I feel like obviously he's one of the guys that's really good on this team, setting the tone in that regard, but we got to be able to do it without him as well.
It'll be Brazil night tonight. To feel the additional support coming off a Germany trip where you felt additional support there, how neat is that?
Yeah, it's kind of full circle right here. Being in Berlin, getting love from the German fans out there, and now from the Brazilian community here. Really looking forward to it.
How was the experience in Berlin for you? I know Munich is a little further away, yeah. But you had some family and friends there. But what was it like being able to play there, bring the NBA there?
Yeah, the game itself was really fun. A lot of love from the fans, a lot of cheering. Obviously me playing with the national team over the past year, kind of put my name on the map for those guys. I think. For those fans out there, and they showed me love every time I subbed in, every time I had an action on the court, and I mean I have family there, as you said, I have friends there, and it was hectic, but it was a good time.
Jalen, first off, how are you feeling? How's everything coming along?
I feel good, especially hooping today. Felt really good. Just building back my confidence. Just eager to get playing. I ain't gonna lie, I'm antsy. Don't like sitting out. Said that a million times, so I ain't gonna, beat a broken drum. But yeah, I feel good. It's been nice to gain my perspective, but I'm ready to hoop. I ain't gonna lie.
What has been your takeaway from how the team has played without you on the court?
I think as we learn to continue to find consistent flow, consistent energy, no matter what's going on, no matter whether it's overseas, whether it's for back-to-back, whether it's a 3 and 4, whatever the case may be. I think for us, finding that consistency in our approach and our play and translating that, out onto the court. You can talk about it, but, you have to apply it each and every night, and that's the actual challenge of this league. You know what I'm saying? A lot of great minds in here that can, figure out what to do and, tell you this and that, with numbers to back it up and whatever. But you got to go out every night and choose to do it. So, I think for us, we continue to find that and continue to find our rhythm with each other. Like I said, the sky's the limit, but we got to do it first.
What was the biggest challenge maybe of coming back from this particular injury? I know it wasn't maybe as serious as some of the other ones that you've had, but what was the biggest challenge?
Patience. Very trying on the patience part. Trying not to, be too hasty in no decision making, which I think is growth. It's the last place I want to be. It's the last thing I want to do. It's the last thing I was going for while I was playing. Sometimes things happen that you literally can't control. So I think for me it was the patience piece, both in knowing that I'm feeling better and feeling good, still listening to the people around me, listening to the minds that are taking care of me, and trusting that, in due time, I'll be able to get back out there and play. It's not gone, it's just delayed. So struggling with that fact, but cool.
Who do you lean on in times like this? Teammates, coaches, all the above? What's that like?
Teammates for sure, especially on these road trips, which have been gone a lot, away from family, away from the boys. So, hard to really use that outlet, other than being on the phone. So really teammates, AB, Dale, Dez, Tyus, Jet, all down the line, everybody, JC, Big O, Franz, P, everybody in our locker room, man, helped lifting me up. I can bring them this conversation, and they're not talking to me from a standpoint of just trying to get me back or as the player. They're trying to help take care of me, which I love them for. And that's why I love this place. So, yeah, they've definitely been holding me down.
As you get closer to coming back, do you feel like that energy from them to kind of spur you on to get over that last hurdle, or what's kind of the interchange of energy as you get closer and closer coming back?
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way of putting it. As we get into this point in the season, close to All-Star break, it's just normal for fatigue to set in for everybody. So trying to bring a freshness in. Whenever I'm around the boys, trying to really give them, some energy as they are, doing the same for me. Just different forms. They're going through the struggle of a long year, especially the long, first half of the year. And I'm going through, this. So, like I said, we lean on each other. We help keep each other up, throughout the year. And this is just the instance that we're in. So, just trying to stay positive. Trying to still be helpful to the team. Not be a hindrance.
Jalen.
Franz just came back. Mo just came back. It sounds like you're close to coming back. How do you guys envision this second half of the stretch going where hopefully you guys can stay healthy?
Yeah, not really good. You look at many different forms of this in the league, college. As you get to the end of the year and playoff time or tournament time, that's when you want to be playing your best basketball. That's when you want to be most locked in. We're at in the year. I think we can still climb. It's very easy for teams to, go on tough streaks. You see New York doing it. You've seen Cleveland do it already. You've seen Milwaukee do it already. We've had our own. So, that happens throughout the year. So I think staying with it, once you get to the back stretch, knowing the intentionality that we have to have, given the fact that God willing we'll be healthy, we'll all be together, taking that flow and that chemistry and really ramping it up. So by the time, we finish off that last 25 on the back end, going into the offs, you're feeling great, confident about what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, and how to do those things. So really, I think that's where all our minds are at. My mind, for sure, is that back 25, really being dialed in and making that elite.
Jalen, it's been over a year since you've taken the floor with Mo Wagner. When you guys are out there, especially at home, creating energy with the fans, how much can that swing games, especially in the January, February, March months where, teams are fighting for energy and focus?
It's huge. Like I said, I love playing at home. Just that natural energy that it creates for you. On the road, you really got to create it all from, that 15 on the bench and all the coaches. That's the only place you're going to get big market teams, a little different. but that's the only place you're going to get your energy from in those, in those environments. So, being back home, being on the court with Mo, obviously, he brings so much energy, so much passion to the game. There's definitely energy, but his passion, for hoops and for winning, I think is so. It carries over to everybody. A lot of the same that I try to do. It's just really putting winning above all else, above feelings, above own personal stats. That's the only thing that matters, and he embodies that for real. So, I love how everybody rallies around him. It's been great to see. It's great having him back on the court, just watching from afar. So, can't wait to get back on the court with him, hear his crazy talk, have him yell at me a little bit. Miss that. For as annoying as it is, sometimes I miss it.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.
We missed